Jamie's shooting his fake gun.
Finger guns.
Race car spelled backwards is still race car. This is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is Jamie, and this is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. Jamie, how the heck are you doing, my friend?
Amazing, dude.
Amazingly amazing again.
Man.
That's like
if I
weekly
died
thing for you.
in your front lawn,
I'd leave you.
flowers would come out within 20 minutes. That's how awesome I'm doing. Even in death, I would be awesome.
It's all that crap you're full of. Fertilizer fertiles the soil. Fertile land out here in the Cardin residence.
You'd probably go, honey, quick, get a shovel. We're not calling 911.
I mean, I call the cops. They're going to want to know what I did. They're going to blame it on me. If you're going to die, at least get to the end of the street.
Just blame it on, say he got COVID.
Neighbor shot him.
When? Like, I saw him get COVID. Right in front of my eyes, he got COVID. And he just conked over dead.
See, the wind blew from the southeast and blew that COVID right on him.
You could tell he's got the COVID because look at them flowers coming out of his body.
He's dead. That's how you know he's got
He
COVID.
said when he died, he was going to be so awesome, flowers came out.
It just happened.
Those are Rona flowers.
So we got a new podcast or a new show that we're doing called The Conspiracy Juice Bar. I think it's going to be a good one, Jamie.
I think so.
So basically what we're going to do is we're going to read stories of different conspiracy theories or different paranormal activity stories, and then we're going to add our commentary and our humor to it and just see what happens. Just try something different, but we'll be recording that today as well.
But we were kind of serious in this one. Did you
we
notice
were.
that?
I thought we were too. I think it's just going to take
We were too into it.
I think it's going to take a few. And then we'll get in the groove. Kind of like with this show, we're in the groove. So
Problem with the conspiracy is like, we uncovered something, people. You got to listen. We uncovered something.
but
We're all
people
serious.
don't listen. That's the problem. Like, they just don't want. A lot of people would rather be blinded by the false reality painted by the government than to know the truth of what's really going on.
What about the Joe Gibbs Racing smear campaign last year for Kyle Busch? We can't find sponsors. Oh, he won't take the money we're offering him. And then old Joe's like, he wouldn't take my personal money.
That would have bankrupted. Denny Hamlin said that that would have bankrupted the company if Joe Gibbs would have paid Kyle what he wanted to make. I think there's.
Do you think Denny's exaggerating?
No.
Do you think he took less at RCR?
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah. I think Kyle makes less. Actually, I think he'll make more at RCR because I think Wynn's had more. Probably, this is your base, but if you win, this is what you can get. I mean, look, Richard's he's gonna end up selling Ty Gibbs.
It's going to be pretty easy to fill up any gaps.
He'll sell Ty Dillon's display from the museum. He'll sell that truck.
Maybe we could buy it and put it inside of here. Cut it into pieces.
Just put one on one side.
Make it part of the studio. What's Ty Gibbs' truck's worth right now? About what, $25?
No, I was thinking at least a solid 100.
$250 max on eBay.
It's a winning truck. He won in that truck.
Yeah.
It's his only win.
But that's the problem.
So you said
it's his only win, right?
I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but I would assume
in 5 years when his dad or grandpa can't float his boat anymore because it's too expensive.
Aspire racing career.
Yeah, I mean, and he retires from racing to go work for Pop Pop. Is anyone going to remember him?
He's going to be a janitor for Pop Pop if he ain't careful.
Probably for Austin.
He'll be working. Yeah, he'll be a janitor for his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Or he'll be out there at the museum going, "Good morning, welcome to the RCR Museum. How many tickets can I get you today?"
But back to the conspiracy. Don't you think Joe Gibbs shafted Busch last year?
I think once Joe realized that they couldn't make a deal with Kyle, that they started giving him the crappiest equipment.
Uh-huh.
They started locking him out of meetings.
Then they start switching some team members on
Oh, I'm
his
sure.
car?
Well, so he had the fastest pit crew last year, apparently. So that's what Denny said on the show last weekend, that Kyle had the best pit crew.
But how many times did he win a race because the pit crew was awesome?
He only won one race and he got lucky.
Yeah, because the two guys in front of him crashed out.
I guess it doesn't matter how good your pit crew is if you're out there driving a Rick Ware car. Because, I mean, that was essentially what Kyle... I mean, there was races where Rick Ware was outrunning Kyle Busch.
Kyle's blowing up.
Numerous times. So
I think he's in better equipment now.
I think he's in great equipment now. Far superior. I think he's in the best equipment of his career.
Yeah, I mean, look at the race.
If you think about it, when he was at Joe Gibbs, it was either dominate and win or completely suck, which is basically a Gibbs. That's how Gibbs works. I mean, their drivers either dominate or they finish in the back of the field. They're either in the first half or the top of the field, like first 10, 15
think it's
cars.
because of the pressure coach puts on them, though. Win, 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 win.
I don't think so. I think it's because coach is overdoing it.
I mean, look at Ryan Truex. Same situation as Busch. He won 0. But he always had a great car. He couldn't complete a race, either mechanically or mentally.
Who?
Martin Truex.
Oh, you said Ryan Truex.
That's his brother.
Brother.
He's like the Ty Dillon of the Truex family, isn't he?
I don't know if I go that far. I wouldn't be that harsh on him, man. Come on.
Ty just randomly wrecked. Like there was a ghost on the track. Did you notice that?
That's just Ty. I think Ty ran out of talent.
The day he cranked the car up.
Ty was good. Ty was fun to watch when he was in the Truck Series.
He peaked in the Truck Series.
Yes. I think he should go back to the Truck Series.
Maybe he should go to ARCA.
Maybe. If Ty's not careful, his qualifications are going to put him in the ARCA Series. But what's wrong with Ty Dillon going back to Xfinity?
Nothing. I mean, I think
somebody's going to have to fill that Justin Allgaier void soon. Allgaier's not going to run forever in the number 7.
No.
And you need a veteran in that 7. I do not want to see a rookie. I don't want to see a Josh Berry or a Brandon Jones buy his way into that number 7.
I see with the 7.
I want to see an experienced driver in that 7 at all times.
I see Allmendinger getting thrown back to Xfinity after this year.
I don't want Allmendinger.
You don't want his attitude?
No, I can't stand Allmendinger.
Allmendinger, Ty Gibbs?
No.
Isn't that his middle name Ty, last name Gibbs?
Allmendinger is Ty Gibbs' daddy.
Senior.
That's who Ty Gibbs acts like, is AJ. So I want to see not an AJ Allmendinger. I'm serious. Honestly, Ricky Stenhouse was my pick. I would like to
he just bought 3 more years.
Exactly. He won a 500, so he's good for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere. But that was my pick. Or Eric Jones. But I think Eric Jones there's a possibility we might see Eric Jones in that 4 car.
Well, Noah had a little sparks there occasionally. He looked good.
Well, I don't disagree with
Fontana.
that, but Noah's a rookie in the Cup Series. He don't have any chance of going back.
Didn't he lead a lap?
In Fontana?
Yeah.
Maybe.
One.
If he did, it was under caution or through a caution cycle or something. He was up front there for a while. I remember because he stayed out.
What do you think was happening between Clint and Tony Stewart during the race? Does one of them have a ball itch?
They couldn't ever get going.
They didn't gold bomb their
They've been working on this for 2 weeks and they could never get it going. It's just not there.
Is this how they had it when Clint worked for him?
No. Tony probably just chewed into him all the time. Just laid into him, you idiot.
Is Clint off his booze?
I think that's his problem.
I think he's off the sauce?
No, I think he's on the sauce.
Oh, you think he's got too much sauce?
Yeah, I do. Because,
he wasn't energetic at all.
In the race, he's like, there goes Allmendinger spinning down to the wall. Oh, look, Allmendinger hit the wall. Man.
Maybe Busch gave him some 3-chi.
Maybe, but he didn't look 3-chi.
He was lethargic.
He didn't look 3-chi. He looked drunk.
He even tried to,
But it doesn't help anything that he's up there with Grandpa Mike. I mean, between Grandpa Mike and Alcoholic Clint, they couldn't put anything together on Fox yesterday. And then they had their all-star team come in with Blaney And Logano, I do not like Joey Logano. But in
He
the
can call a
booth,
race.
dude, he is probably one of the best personalities in the booth.
No, that's his career when this is over.
Yes, he will do like DW. He'll win races and then he'll go to the booth and he'll dominate. I hate to say it.
Well, I thought Gordon and Clint were a good combination. At least better than what we got the last 2 years.
Yeah, but I don't think Tony is only in there for 2 weeks. That's not enough time to get the chemistry rolling with him and Clint. You would think it would already be there, but it's not. Then you're going to put Danica, the most awkward non-personality that you could find. She's going to be in there for 2 races. So Clint doesn't do good with Danica anyway.
Did you see Tony kind of shoot some glances at Clint and roll his eyes?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
you're an idiot.
Yeah.
He looked at Clint numerous times with that "you're an idiot" look. Now, I watched the broadcast and I listened to it. I didn't MR in it. I was planning on it, but I gave him a shot. It wasn't horrible. I mean, I got in all my research I got in some conspiracy research for the Conspiracy Juice Bar podcast we're working on, and I had it playing. And honestly, the commercials didn't bother me. I understand they got bills to pay.
Were there fewer ads? See, I fast forward through it. I listened to MRN and did other things.
So I paused
and then I watched the race and fast forward through the commercials.
I paused it for 30 minutes at the beginning because I had something I was in the middle of and I didn't need to be distracted. So I started at 30 minutes late. Now, by the end of stage 1, I was live. But it didn't matter. I mean, it was not as bad as Daytona. And the broadcast, it's not that it's bad, it's just not good. It's not energetic. Other problem too is FS2 had the Xfinity race directly after. You had Joey and Blaney, who were exhausted from running a 400-mile race, killed it. Like them and Alexander, what's his name? Alexander.
Yes.
I know I'm saying that wrong, but that guy, you had him in there. They did great. Like, it was the best broadcast of the weekend.
It was.
And that made Clint and Grandpa Mike look even worse. Much respect to Mike Joy. It's going to be weird not having Mike Joy in the booth, but he needs to go.
But
he's got to go.
Is the crappy talent they're giving him, and he's having to carry too much.
Was that making him forget stuff?
Well, I mean, we got a president that can't remember his last name. And
he needs to go too.
Well, we got 2 more years and we get to decide with our vote.
Well, we need to get rid of Mike too then.
We got to decide which senior citizen we want.
Can we vote on the next Fox booth? Can we have a popularity contest like we do for our presidency?
You could buy some stock in Fox and go to the shareholders meeting.
Well, apparently a comic book guy is the one that holds all the dang stock.
Huh. Well, at least he's corrected their faces a little.
Denny said that after the Daytona 500, Fox took updated photos of all the Cup drivers.
Well, I know Denny's goatee disappeared.
I think they went back to last year's photos because I looked at a lot of them yesterday, and they got rid of your Kyle Larson looking like the dude from Mad Magazine. That's gone now. He don't have all the freckles anymore.
Bubba Wallace didn't look like Bubba Wallace
anymore
on Daytona, but he looks more like him now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think they went back to last year's package. I don't think they had pictures of the drivers, even though they could have went to Twitter and pulled them off for free.
You don't think they just snatched some Google images?
They could have. Why wouldn't you? Just screenshot it.
Use an app. Cartoon it.
They don't have apps.
Oh, yeah.
NASCAR doesn't use apps. They don't use weather apps. They don't use...
Stuck in the 80s.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, Kyle Busch wins yesterday in just his third race.
In case you didn't figure that out, Kyle Busch won.
He did?
Kyle Busch won.
When?
Yesterday.
What day was Sunday?
Sunday.
He won the Cup race?
According to my timeline, it was like 10:30 p.m.
Oh, yeah, you were watching it real late. It was so hard. So when Kyle won, like, I was really, last weekend after the Daytona 500, I was like, it's going to be hard being a Kyle Busch fan this year. Like, it's just going to be one of them things that happens. Like, every time he goes to win, something stupid's going to happen, and it's going to be hard being a fan. Well, then this weekend, there's like 20 laps to go, and my knees are going 100 miles an hour. I'm pacing around the bedroom trying to watch this race. I'm like, oh my God, I can't even watch. The last 10 laps, I felt like they lasted forever. I kept waiting on Daniel Suarez or Ross Chastain to wreck. I'm just like, somebody's keyed up their radio. Hey, Daniel, Kyle Busch is leading. Do what you do. But he never did it. So Kyle Busch did get a victory.
I don't think they even have to tell Daniel, do what you do. Just, hey, see if you can make up a spot. And that's over. It's not even code because he's going to try to do what they said and just lose control.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just, shit.
Oh,
Chihuahua.
I don't think that's how you say it in Spanish. Chihuahua.
You don't think so?
What's Chihuahua?
Chihuahua's a dog from Mexico.
That's Chihuahua. Not a Chihuahua. 3 Chihuahua?
There you go. 3 Chihuahua.
3 Chihuahua.
That's what Kyle Busch did.
What's the name of our next
3
podcast?
Chihuahua.
Took that 3 Chihuahua and wrecked. So, Kyle Busch wins. Now, I think it's a pretty big statement that Kyle Busch wins in an RCR car before Toyota or Joe Gibbs wins a race in 2023. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That goes to what we were talking about. Joe Gibbs, the Joe Gibbs conspiracy.
He trashed it last year. He trashed Kyle Busch.
Which in turn put his company a step behind the competition this year.
Well, he's got all the grandpas there. Bell's his only. Well, he's got Ty. Keep forgetting about Ty. Ty's had a quiet season. Have you noticed that?
So far, yeah. He was quiet yesterday, which was good. I didn't want to hear from Ty. I don't want to hear from Ty this season unless he won. Otherwise, I want him to quietly just learn.
I want to see him and Chase Briscoe get into an after-race fight.
Why?
Chase is humongous.
I know. You know that little Ty.
Pound that little puppy.
He'd kill him.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Ty took kickboxing or something. He said, remember him and his cousins used to beat the crap out of each other. That's what he said, at least. You think he was making it up?
I don't know how to trust him. He's like the government.
Did you see the Tyler Reddick? I hate these Monster Energy cars. There's too many. One Monster Energy and Bass Pro Shop need to stick with one driver because
Yeah, they do.
And at least stay on the same team or the same manufacturer. I mean, you got Ford, Chevy with Bass Pro Shop. Then you got Monster Energy is what?
They're both Toyotas.
Are they? Yeah. But I mean, it might as well be the same team. The Gibbs boys.
Well, unless you see the number, you don't know who it is. You're like, what? Who's that?
And I'm dyslexic, so let me tell you, 45 and 54. Do you know how many times I thought Ty Gibbs had wrecked yesterday? When they had the wreck and Tyler Reddick wrecked, I'm like, why is Tyler Reddick in Ty Gibbs' car? Because I'm seeing 54 and 45. It just messes me way up. I do not like it. I hate it. They need to fix it. So earlier I made a comment to Jamie. I said that Kyle Busch goes out and puts on a show and delivers the most dominating performance that RCR has seen since Dale Earnhardt. What do you think about that, Jamie? All right, so don't forget, sometimes crap, it does happen. And sometimes you need a plumber to fix it. In that case, we would call Danny Carden Plumbing, the official plumber of the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. The guys you call when crap happens.
Oh, 100% agree.
I mean,
look, you had Reddick do
3
of them. 2 are road courses, though.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't even a mile and a half. Busch won a 2-miler.
It's your 2-mile intermediate.
Yeah. Which I did like the racing. I loved 5 wide.
Oh, yeah. I enjoy...
So, I mean, the physics of sucking air off your neighbor and passing them.
Yeah, it's fun.
And there wasn't pack racing. It didn't take 4 of them to get a run.
No.
They're just going solo, drafting and...
But see, this track didn't always used to be good. So I went back and watched highlights from races over the years. We used to have some pretty boring races at Fontana until the concrete or the asphalt wore out.
Did you see
that? It hasn't been paved since like 97.
Did you see that NASCAR has sold 100 acres of the property?
Way more than that. They only kept 100.
Oh, okay.
They kept 89 acres of it, and they kept 89 acres.
Their commitments changed a little bit. Have you noticed their explanation has changed about keeping Fontana?
I don't think they're going to keep it.
We're going to stay in the market is their story now.
Yeah, we're going to get to it because I don't think they're keeping it.
Well, I had something that happened that was kind of cool this weekend.
What?
I was sitting in a Starbucks with a ex-Major League Baseball player. He asked me not to name him. He's not a big one.
John Smoltz?
No.
Okay.
Not that big.
Oh, okay.
He was like a utility infielder.
That was last weekend.
He was a utility infielder for a Major League team. So we're sitting at a table, and this little 8-year-old kid comes up. And he says, "Hey, can I get an autograph?" And my friend says, "Sure." And the kid said, "Not from you, from Mr. Farrow. He's a Cannonball Run champion."
Who told that kid that?
His dad.
His dad put him up to the whole thing?
So I gave him an autograph. And I said, "Hey," well, I can't say his name. "Mr. So-and-so here played for the Braves." And he looked down and said, "I don't know him." So I told Mr. So-and-so, I said, "Here, why don't you give him an autograph? His dad might want that."
Did he?
He showed his dad, and I think his dad then explained to who I was sitting with.
Told him who it was?
Yeah. He's now a baseball coach at a high school team. That's how great of a... Oh, he might listen. Way better player than I was. How about that?
You're not even coaching Little League.
No.
That's funny. The kid just comes up.
Made the big leagues.
You signed your first autograph.
First autograph. I signed it Cannonball Farrow.
Cannonball Farrow.
Cannonball Farrow.
We should change your ID.
Can't just go to the courthouse?
Yeah, just go to Cannonball.
Yeah, Cannonball.
I would gladly call you Cannonball. So Kyle Busch broke a record that Richard Petty had set. Him and Richard were tied for 18 consecutive seasons with a win. Kyle's win yesterday gets him 19, so now he's the leading driver with consecutive seasons with a win.
Does
19.
RCR also have a win every year?
No. He's had nobody driving for him.
Yeah, Ty.
No, Ty don't count. Ty never drove for him.
Actually, he sells the cars to the teams that Ty drives for. Yeah, there's a conspiracy.
He has to be funding it because Spire would not put Ty in a car. Spire wants to make money.
Yeah, they rent the seat out.
So putting Ty in there is not making them any money unless Pop's Winery is paying for it.
I have a feeling that's what's going on there.
John Hunter Nemechek outlasted his car that was overheating from all the garbage on the track to win the race Sunday night in the Xfinity Series. Which
was there a homeless person in that piece of plastic on the front of his front clip?
Dude, there was so much garbage on that track, but really it's fitting. I mean, that's California.
Visit. Yeah, all you got to do is visit.
I was really surprised that you didn't see a homeless camp up against the outside wall.
Oh, I thought maybe some of the...
Not on the inside of the track, but on the outside of the track. Just But I think the weather out in California is so cold right now, it's just the homeless are having to move out.
Yeah, they moved into the soup kitchen and the cot.
They're at the Portofino, probably. Yeah. They're at that Motel 6 climbing in the second-story window. Yeah. There's like 82 people in that one little bitty room.
Maybe that lady we complained about is actually... That's her mission work.
What?
Letting homeless people stay in the rooms that no one's checked into yet.
Hey, this room's
Take a shower.
Hurry up. They're coming.
They're here.
They showed up. So it rained literally pretty much all day. That's, you like how I worded that? That's like a government answer.
Well, it did rain all Saturday, didn't it?
That's like a government answer.
Yeah.
Literally all day. Pretty much most of the day, part of the day, some of the day, all day.
Do you work for the IRS, Brad?
CIA.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you could spin that story.
Yeah, I mean...
It doesn't cost me any money, but you gotta spin it?
Not really the CIA. I'm in sales. Same thing.
Is that from the black budget?
What budget?
Black Ops budget?
Yeah. So it rained and it snowed on Saturday, but NASCAR decided they had a 2-hour window to dry the track. Takes roughly 2 hours to dry the track. They get the track dried, throw the cars out there, make a few pace laps, and it starts raining, and guess what? They never went green. You know, it would be really cool, Jamie, if somebody invented an app to go on your phone that showed the Doppler radar.
Oh, you mean like my weather app?
Yeah.
I got 2 of them. I use AccuWeather and the Weather Channel.
Yeah, I use Carrot.
Well,
and then I have My Radar. I use the Carrot app for my weather, and then My Radar for the radar. But what I'm saying is it would be really cool if somebody would invent something like what we use for NASCAR people.
Maybe we should work for NASCAR and make suggestions that they download the app.
Maybe
that's worth a $250,000 a year job.
I would do it for $150,000 a year. I would monitor the weather app for NASCAR. Bob Pockers used
with health benefits.
Oh yeah,
okay,
and a retirement plan,
all right,
and travel budget. But see, Bob Pockers used to do that for him, and now that he works for NASCAR and Fox or NASCAR, which is the same thing.
Same thing.
Now that he works for him, he doesn't really show his tweets anymore of rain will be here in 5 minutes.
Well, no, because that would be detrimental to the sport.
Be detrimental to his job. We'll just be honest.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, we don't look like a joke.
Is that why at the media they always call him Bob Popkris like 5 times?
He's always the first one, you ever notice?
Yeah. We were at a Fox race last year. They called on him immediately.
Yeah. They tell you. Actually, a little behind the scenes. Yeah, they tell you Bob goes first.
Yeah.
And then it was like Bob goes first, then we'll go to Jordan Bianchi, and then whoever else.
What's her face from Sirius?
Claire
B. Lang was next.
Yeah.
And then it was open house.
Yeah, but they tell you this is the order. Bob's pretty much always first on the post-race press conferences if he has something to say, which that's his job. He's going to have something to say. So I'm just saying it just looks bad for the sport. And it's annoying. Like, I was fully invested in not watching any racing Saturday because of crappy California weather. I was good with that. I had accepted it. Crap to do around the house. We're good. I'll find something else to fill my Saturday. I turn on the TV. They're drying the track. There's a little sunshine. I look at the weather app. They're in like a circle. And you know it's coming because you can see it off the coast about to hit the coast of California and start raining. And you watch it. I go back. They're like, track's almost dry. Drivers are being called to the track. Called to the track. There was drivers who were, Clements was at the movie theater with his team watching Cocaine Bear. Did you go see that this weekend?
Did not. I read some reviews.
There's no way I'm going to see it.
I'm questioning it now. Maybe I'll wait for it to stream.
I told you I wasn't going to see it. They had to add a 12-year-old doing cocaine to the movie. There was no 12-year-old doing cocaine in the real story. A kid doing cocaine does not entice me to go see the movie, so they're done.
They wanted to bring it more with times.
So is there...
I see, just driving around on my job, I see 12-year-olds buying crack, cocaine, and meth all the time. And
down there?
In school zones where I have to slow down, where I can see it.
I would think that would probably be the best place for a 12-year-old to sell crack cocaine is a school zone. Because who's his customers? Other 12-year-olds?
Well,
maybe he's selling to the parents dropping off their kids. Like, kid jumps out, little 12-year-old runs up, little Johnny runs up with a bag of cocaine.
Well, I was at the Periodontist Academy.
Yeah.
That's where they select children as babies to be periodontist.
What the heck is a periodontist?
That's a dentist. Specialist.
Are you making crap up?
Yeah, of course. And I'm going past and this is all funded by our state lottery. I'm going past the Hope Scholarship Periodontist Academy for
special kids,
preteens.
The Epstein sister.
And I see the lights, they're flashing, and it's a weird, I guess periodontists, we don't have enough of them. Instead of slowing down to 25, you got to slow down to 15. Or maybe they're dumber. I don't know.
Maybe.
Who would want to have their hands in your mouth all day? I mean, I don't want to do it. God bless them. We need them, but...
I feel like being a proctologist.
Well, and then the sheriff jumps out to stop traffic because some kids are crossing. This kid comes up to the Prius, and I roll down the window. He says, "You got a credit card?"
They're selling crack on credit?
What? Why you need a credit card? And he says, "Oh, this stuff ain't cut too well." And I'm looking at him. He's got a little mirror in his hands. So I gave him my SCCA membership card because he can't charge anything on it. I said, "Here, just keep it. because it expires in a month because my membership, I got to renew. It's an old one. So he's sitting there cutting up the cocaine, or maybe it was meth. I don't know.
In the school zone?
Yeah, because he's one of those smart kids that's going to be a periodontist when he grows up.
Could be a proctologist, though.
He was selected by the...
Is that where you go if you can't become a periodontist? Is to proctology school?
Well, actually, I went to a proctologist once. I didn't poop for like 3 weeks.
You sure
They're the guys. They're the guys that they stick their finger up your butt and pull out the rabbit turds.
They dig it
so
out.
that you can, be unblocked.
You'd be better going to the dentist for that.
Well, that's where I learned. The doc said, "Do you drink coffee?" I said, "Yeah, a cup a day, maybe." He said, "Triple it, double
Turn it up a little bit.
You'll never make rabbit turds again." And he was right. Never.
You'll never be back here.
No. Once he was thumbing out little acorns out of my anus, or was it Uranus? Missouri.
Jamie's Uranus fudge came in.
Oh.
And it was not what he thought it was going to be.
No, it was
store-bought fudge.
I'm not sure if the best fudge is from Uranus.
No, but the best fudge advertising definitely comes from Uranus.
But it did give, while it melted, because it was 80 degrees here in Georgia, it put skid marks on the T-shirt.
Did it?
So I got fudge skid marks.
So that's a plus.
I think it adds value to the T-shirt.
Only if you put it on the back.
I can't wash it anymore,
at the bottom.
Because it looks like, you didn't clean your bum enough, and it looks like true skid marks.
That's where you put it at, is on the back of the shirt in the middle. That way it looks like you accidentally got some on the shirt.
Think I should clear coat it and hang it in a frame?
You could just rub chocolate on it every time you wear it.
These skid marks are from Uranus?
So, Joey Logano was playing some games in the new restart zone. Joey says he wasn't, but all the other drivers
his
said
new
he
name
was.
His new name's Hair.
Joey Hair Logano.
There you go.
Mr. Hair Logano. He stacked up the whole field, ending the day for Tyler Reddick, Ryan Preece, Eric Almirola, and pole sitter Christopher Bell. In an interview after the race, Joey was very adamant that he did not cause the wreck, but every other driver that was interviewed disagreed.
Is that how it usually is?
It's typical Joey Logano. It's the reason I can't stand Joey Logano, all wrapped up right there in a nutshell. Calls the dang wreck, get out of the car and go, Dale, yeah, I caused that wreck, baby.
See, and it is Logano and LaJoie I give the Gold Bond Itchy Nut Award to. I mean, the way he did the start zone, it was like he was scratching his balls and then putting Gold Bond on before the race. And the way LaJoie just randomly lost it in a second wreck, there's no way that wasn't a ball scratch.
So I'll listen to the Joey Logano interview, and I actually have a hard time disagreeing with him. Joey said that he could see the cars behind him were anticipating when he was going to go, so he decided not to go at that point. He waited a fraction of a second longer and went when they were not anticipating him to go. Is that not what you're supposed to do?
Brad.
I do not like Joey Logano.
This is an episode you have complimented Joey Logano twice. Will this ever happen again?
No. No, it
No,
won't.
you think this is it?
I hope.
I got 2 check marks right here on the show notes.
You're making a note. Brad
Logano checks.
Logano.
We got 2.
But do you disagree with him? If his job, they made the restart zone bigger, right?
They doubled the size.
They doubled it to give
if you can
give the leader more advantage.
Yes, if you can F with the pack.
Only reason I don't like it is because it's Joey. Joey didn't cause a big one at Daytona this year, so he had to do it at Fontana. Kentucky.
If you can mess with the pack to your advantage, shouldn't you? I say yes.
I mean, 100%.
And everyone should put their bumper to Brad Keselowski.
Why? Because everybody seems to be doing it already?
He came in 6th, and everybody's plowing into him. That will prevent him from winning. And isn't he the original Watermelon Man?
Brad?
He was bad, Brad. Remember, he ran over everybody.
That's why Kyle Busch don't like him. Because when Brad came into the sport, he was running over everybody.
Did you see?
You think those two would have got over it, but I don't think they have.
I think they're too similar.
Probably.
I think Brad cries when he doesn't win too, just like Kyle Busch.
Yeah, but he does it in a different way.
He won.
He's more sarcastic about it. But Kyle's just, I don't know. I'm curious to see how Kyle is this year, because here's the problem. Joe Gibbs had a box, and his drivers had to fit in that box. What they wore, how they talked, how they acted, what they did, had to fit in this little bitty tiny box. Richard does not have a box. Richard says, Kyle, go be yourself. So when Kyle worked for Gibbs, you had tame Kyle, or you had Kyle turned up to 11 Kyle. And once he's at 11, there's no stopping him.
Yeah.
He's going all out. He's saying what he wants. Joe Gibbs can't prevent that. Joe will make him apologize the next day. But I think because Richard Childress is letting Kyle be Kyle all the time, you're not going to have this bipolar, huge emotional shifts. It's not going to be turned down to 1, turned up to 11. You're going to get a steady turned up to 6 all the time. He'll get mad, but when he's mad, it's not going to go 6 to 11. It's just going to go 6 to 8. I think Kyle, you're going to see a different Kyle this season. It's already been said. We've said it on this show. Other people have said it. Kyle looks like he's having more fun, but I think what you're getting is Kyle Busch, the true Kyle Busch. Just like you get the true Kevin Harvick at Stewart-Haas Racing, you get the true Kyle Busch at Richard Childress Racing. Richard wants Kyle Busch.
So I'm going to give you 4 choices. I'm going to give you the names, and then I'm going to tell you to choose, but I'm not going to tell you now. I'm going to give you the names first. Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Allmendinger, and Brad Keselowski. Which one, if you look at their face, just their face, especially their cartoon faces on Fox, all 4 of those have butthole faces. Which has the biggest butthole face?
Kyle.
You think?
I hate Kyle's face. I hate Kyle's cartoon character. It just makes him look like he's way overweight.
Do you think he needs to talk to Logano about the hair club? He's thinning out up there.
Just embrace it. That's what I say.
I mean,
Kyle probably couldn't do a hair club. Hair club, like what Logano did is when you just got
his forehead ends about where his ear, if you drew a line ear to ear.
Kyle?
Yeah, that's about where his hairline starts.
Yeah, but Kyle's just going to embrace it. Kyle needs to shave it, what he should do.
And then
But he's got that big peanut head, so I don't think...
I know we don't... This is a audio podcast. I'm going to try to do his look, though. He's got to pull his chin back and his hair back, and this is what it kind of looks like this.
Like the guy from Men in Black.
Yeah, if you pucker the lips, it looks like he's from Uranus, Missouri.
Like the... You think he's had some work done?
No, that's the problem. Maybe he should. His wife has.
I wouldn't get none done. Would you get Botox?
I'm not even sure what Botox is, Brad. Isn't that putting Jell-O in your lips?
No, it's like rat poison or something. And they shoot you with it, and it makes you go puffy.
So I'm thinking this is a Darwinism type thing, and those that get it and die kind of ask for it.
Would you get plastic surgery to improve your looks at your age?
If my job was to be on television where it's all superficial, yeah, why not?
I just don't think I could do it.
But, I mean, those guys are making millions.
Like Dale Jr. just had that procedure done where he burned his face to get all the sunspots off or whatever to help. It's like for pre-melanoma.
But he's on in front of the camera. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think he's having a facelift. DW didn't have a facelift.
I think he did it because he's on camera.
Who?
Dale Jr.
I think he did it to prevent cancer, but that's why he did the face burn thing he did.
Why do you use suntan lotion?
Because Dale Jr. grew up
SPF 60.
Dale Jr. grew up in the same era I grew up. My grandmother took us to the beach every year. She never bought suntan lotion, but she bought this pink Mary Kay sunburn cream, and she'd bring like 3 cases of it. Because she knew we was getting burnt. But instead of preventing the burn, she brought a cream to relieve the burn.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. We always used aloe.
Did y'all wear sunscreen as a kid?
No.
Neither did we.
That's why I have cancerous objects on my body.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, our generation, Dale Jr.'s same. I consider Dale Jr. part of our generation.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, even though me and you are about 10 years apart, but...
His father, senior, is the age of my mother.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, Dale Jr.'s, he's in between our age. I really don't know how old he is. He's in his 40s.
He's born in the mid to late 70s, I think.
Yeah, I was born in 84, so...
I think he's, yeah.
Yeah, so he's in between us.
Uh-huh.
So he's part of our generation. But yeah, I mean, I think he was probably...
He's an ex-millennial.
He was part of the don't wear sunscreen but buy sunburn cream.
Well, he was
generation.
also part of the who needs a helmet riding a bicycle? It ain't a motorcycle.
He raced a cup car with an open-faced helmet, so, I mean, sunscreen is not a concern.
No.
So Ross Chastain showed yesterday why Trackhouse signed him to an extension, and it has nothing to do with the publicity. Ross led 91 laps, won both stages 1 and 2, and came home third, with his teammate coming home fourth. Chevrolet claims the top 4 spots in yesterday's race with Busch, Elliott, Chastain, and Sorass. Does this mean anything?
I think it means he will win a race before the All-Star break.
You do?
Yep.
What about Sorass?
I think Suarez is not as talented.
I don't either.
I like him personally. I think Daniel Suarez is hilarious. I love it when he hosts what's that Fox show on the weeknights?
Race Hub?
Race Hub. He was on it last week.
I hate it. Absolutely hate when he's on TV.
Really?
I don't understand him, man.
I think he's hilarious. I think he's got a great sense of humor.
I can't understand him long enough to get his sense of humor.
I think his whole career, he'll be out in 5 years. He'll have 4 or 5 wins for his career in the Cup. And that's it.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I think he's an average, middle-of-the-road driver that can have good days and win.
I think Ross is way better.
I put him right there with Jeff Burton.
Okay.
He's a Jeff Burton driver.
Ward.
I thought Ward was better than Jeff.
I think Jeff won more.
Yeah, but Ward was more entertaining. What is his crazy accent? I don't know what it was.
Ward was
funny. Ward sounds like he just came out of the Civil War.
Did you ever hear, they asked Jeff Burton one time, why does him and Ward sound so different? He said, well, Ward was raised on the south side of the house.
It's true.
I mean, they're night and day.
I mean, Ward sounds like what I would imagine Robert E. Lee would sound like if there was an audio recording of Robert E. Lee. And they're both from Virginia. So
if you had to pick between Chastain and Suarez, who's the best driver out of the two?
I think Chastain can win a championship. I don't think Suarez can. And I hope he surprises me because, like I said, I like him personally. I like him better than Ross Chastain. I think Ross Chastain has championship skills.
I think Suarez has more personality than Chastain.
I think Chastain has a person. That dude. I mean, look at what he did in Martinsville last year. That's nuts.
That's not a personality. That's a driver.
Personality.
That's a driver wanting to win, though, at any cost. Yeah, we know he's got that. We've watched him race for years. I mean, he's taking full advantage of being in quality equipment. And honestly, I thought Trackhouse was a fluke. I thought last year was a fluke. I did not expect to see him come out. And we all know Daytona is a wash. That does, to me,
any super speedway, it's a gamble.
But you never know. You can't watch the Daytona race and then come on this show and say, this is the season that Chase Elliott's going to have based on Daytona. Or this is the season Denny's going to have based on Daytona. Now,
but don't you think Ross is
the West Coast swing will know.
Don't you think Ross is improving? He's even improved from last year.
Yes.
I think he's on an upward trajectory where I think Suarez, he won one last year. He might get one this year.
Suarez is going to be like the Dillon boy, Austin.
Yeah.
One race a year at most.
Uh-huh.
Where Chastain, I would say, within the next 4 to 5 years, wins a championship.
I would almost say sooner than that, but
I mean,
I think that
it very well could happen.
I hated him. He was in Martinsville. I hated him. We're recorded. It's there. Me hating on him.
Oh yeah.
But when he did that commitment, and Kyle Busch, I don't like Kyle Busch, but that commitment to winning, I respect.
So that Ross was willing to hurt himself physically by riding they knew going into Martinsville, these drivers knew how hard it hit when they hit the wall, how hard it felt.
Oh yeah, we had 2 guys out for concussions.
So Ross's commitment to winning is what you're saying.
He's committed to that more than anything else.
I agree. But I don't think he's got a personality. I don't think we have a lot of personalities in NASCAR. We don't have a lot of young. You have Noah Gragson has a huge personality, and
which is why I love it. Now my favorite driver.
Exactly.
Chase has none.
The other personalities you got are on the verge of leaving. Kevin Harvick, personality. Kyle Busch, personality. Denny Hamlin, personality.
I think we got Kyle for 8 more years. My opinion.
I agree, but they're on their second leg of their career. You know what I'm saying?
I think
the old guys have calmed down. Joey's got a personality in the car, but then he gets out and his doofus personality takes over. Like, if Joey would get out of the car and just give the fans the middle finger and then walk off.
That's Ty Gibbs.
He ain't got to say anything.
Ty Gibbs is going to grab that black hat.
No, Ty Gibbs ain't going to give the middle finger. He's going to cry. Ty Gibbs is
He'll give the middle finger on the track.
He's a 5-year-old pitching a hissy fit. Joey Logano drives like he's mad. Get out of the car and be the same guy you are in the car. That's all I ask.
But so does Ross Chastain.
But then again,
we're talking mad insanity, not mad angry at someone.
Yeah, but Ross gets out of the car and he's docile.
He's got a big shit-eating grin. Oh, yeah, did you see that? That was kind of crazy there.
That was cool.
You want a watermelon?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you dislike Ross like I dislike Joey here. You're making fun of Ross like I do Joey.
I respect Ross's commitment to winning. You know what?
I agree.
I respect
I just want some personality. 100%.
Thriving to win. But you're right. He's Mickey Mouse.
Yes.
Hey guys, you see Ross Chastain? That was kind of goofy.
That laugh Joey has when he gets out of the car drives me crazy. But in the booth, I love it. I love Joey Logano in the booth with his partner there, Blaney.
I love it when people are hitting Logano, punching him.
Oh yeah,
throwing things at him.
Well, he fights back.
I know.
He knows who wears a fire suit in the family.
I like Bubba because he's going to swing, and Bubba has anger issues.
Definitely. He gets pissed off.
He's nuts.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But so does AJ Allmendinger. All these guys are a little crazy. I mean, you got to be a little crazy to go 200 miles an hour for 4 hours. I mean, you got to be a little crazy, but
you know, who do you think is going to have personality in the future, these young drivers? I think Chase Briscoe has it. He just hasn't. It hasn't been cultivated.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything in Briscoe I like Briscoe because of his honesty and openness. Like, whenever they had the miscarriage, him and his wife, and that was during the COVID times, and he went out and won Darlington in the Xfinity Series that day, and his emotion, I mean, I cried. When he got out of the car crying, he hit his knees and prayed. I mean, all of it, I was crying because I knew what he went through. You know, he got the phone call from his wife that morning that they had lost their baby. He went out there on the track and he won the race. And it was just such a raw emotion and so honest and true. He won me over right there. But he doesn't have a personality still. Like, that one instance won me over. Like, I will always like him for that reason.
And, you know, I'm going to make a comparison that I think Noah
Gragson is your young personality, but he needs Gibbs too, because they're going to love to hate each other.
We need NASCAR though to cultivate these personalities, like wrestling.
You know, I think that's why Noah has such a good one though, is because Samantha Busch is a sports psychiatrist or something like that.
Does he visit her?
Well, whenever Kyle hired these young guys to drive his truck, like Noah, Samantha would work on them with their PR stuff. helping them, teaching them what they needed to do to help grow their brand. Noah has a huge personality, and people love it.
I love it.
People gravitate. We on this show, we gravitate towards Noah's personality, and we love Noah on this show because Noah's a talented driver. There's no doubt about that. We saw what he did in Kyle Busch's truck. We saw what he did at Dale Earnhardt.
But he can lose it and get pissed, and he can have a sense of humor and joke
at the same time. So I really think Noah and Ty Gibbs are your future of the sport, really. But Noah's going to hate on Ty because Ty's always going to be Grandpa's little boy.
But we need more than two.
Oh, no doubt. We used to have a ton of personalities.
We did.
We had we're showing clips all day yesterday of Tony Stewart interviews because Tony Stewart gave the best interviews.
Let's all race backwards.
Yeah, he's like, if we haven't
go the wrong direction,
if we haven't wrecked enough cars by halfway through, we need to run half the cars one way and the other half the other way, just so we hit our quota for the day.
Or in his hometown of Indianapolis when the tires suck. I don't know what the hell Goodyear's doing. Didn't he get fined for that? Because that's their.
Oh, I'm sure he got fined.
Title sponsor for tires.
Times. There was no doubt he got fined a lot.
We need someone like that.
So yesterday, Kevin Harvick made his 750th NASCAR start. Even at his old age, he still shows he's got a little juice left in that tank because he brought that Ford Mustang home 5th. I like Kevin. I'm going to miss Kevin. But I think
he is also a personality that we're going to miss when he retires.
That's what we were just talking about. We don't have enough. Yesterday's race had 8 cautions for a total of 38 laps. 2 were for stage breaks. 1 was for a competition caution, leaving 5 for incidents. I hate to do it, and I'm going to go ahead and apologize, Janet. But your boy Corey, he wrecked Brad. He got up, drifted into Brad, spun Brad out going down the back stretch, and then a few laps later, Corey spins out on his own. Now, as we dog Corey, need to point out he did earn a stage point. I think that was his first on a non-super speedway track.
And we're Corey fans here.
Oh, no doubt.
We love Corey.
He finished 14th.
Yeah.
But he had some issues. That's all I'm saying.
Actually, I think he could be one of the personalities we need, but his podcast is owned by NASCAR.
Oh, he needs to break away from that. He needs
better equipment.
Corey needs.
He's right when he bitches. I just get tired of his bitching about it.
He needs to be paid enough to race a car where he doesn't depend on podcast money. Then he doesn't have to do a NASCAR sponsored podcast. Then he can do a Dirty Mo style podcast. Dirty Mo is not owned by NASCAR. That's why you hear people like Brett and TJ.
Shoot, they got called a trailer for stuff they said on their podcast.
And Dale Jr. supports them and backs them up. He went there and fought for them. So it's better when you have non-NASCAR affiliated podcasts out there. But what I'm saying is Corey needs to get off the NASCAR tit and get on a good team where he doesn't have to be on that NASCAR tit.
Well, he's got a lot of experience. He's still in his 20s.
I know he is. He's very young.
There's some good cars that are opening up soon.
I personally would absolutely love to see Corey LaJoie get in the 4-car.
Me too.
I think that would be a good fit. I think, look, they're about to lose all their personality. You got Ryan Preece, who is like cornflakes, just basic.
Without the milk.
Yeah. It's like trying to eat dry cornflakes. Now, this has nothing to do with now, when I say this, I'm not taking anything away from Ryan Preece's talent, because I think Ryan Preece is a very talented driver. He absolutely deserves to be in that 41 car. He's earned it. But he has no personality. We already said Briscoe has no personality. The only personality at that Stewart-Haas Racing shop is Kevin Harvick. When he's gone.
In Armacola?
You got...
That dude's a zero when it comes to
personality. Yeah, I forgot all about Armarillo.
Armarillo.
Yeah, see? No personality. I forgot all about... And he's good for a win a year.
I don't even know he's on the track until I see Smithfield, and I'm like, oh, yeah, Armadillo.
There's the Chinese car.
There's Chinese beef.
So, yeah, I think I would like to see LaJoie in that 4-car.
Or maybe you can go to Dirty Mo Media.
Or maybe
we should go to Dirty Mo Media.
You put LaJoie in the 33 car for RCR. If Dylan gets out of 3, I don't think another driver should get into 3 unless you're going to... Honestly, they should have put Kyle Busch in the 3, in my opinion. In my honest opinion, Kyle Busch should be in the number 3 right now. Austin should have gave it up.
I've got an idea about the 3 car.
Retire it. Just give it up.
No. Actually, I think Jeffrey Earnhardt is a better driver than his equipment. He proved that when he drove in the Xfinity for RCR.
Oh, no doubt.
And Mac Reynolds was his crew chief.
They finished like second.
Yeah, led some laps.
Yeah.
I think if he needs money, he needs sponsorship, but if he could make it up there.
He's not going to get enough sponsorship.
He's not.
LaJoie could probably bring enough sponsorship, but I just don't think LaJoie fits the 3. I don't know. Maybe we should just get over it being Dale Earnhardt's number and let whoever drives it drive it,
Well, Richard owns it, so
he can do whatever
it's up to him.
But I would like to see LaJoie go to Childress and replace Dylan, or maybe go to our Stuart Haas. I think the 4 is probably... I don't know what his kind of contract.
What about replacing Suarez at Trackhouse?
Well, Suarez just signed another deal. He got an extension.
Well, you suck, though,
He's at least in there for 2024.
You just, do like a Tyler Reddick RCR did. Oh, yeah, we're going to get a 3rd car. Psych!
Yeah, they ain't got the money for that.
We ain't giving you no 3rd car. We'll see you, Reddick. And do you think Dale Jr. would bring us up there and hire us at Dirty Mo? There are no other podcasts on racing where there are 2 Cannonball Run champions.
I mean, we are as far as I know, we're the only Cannonball Run podcast
Gen 2
champions.
Prius.
We're definitely the
hybrid champions.
We're definitely the only stock 2007 Prius Cannonball Run champions, period.
Yeah, there's no one out there that can make the same claim.
I mean,
with independent NASCAR.
You are known as Cannonball Pharaoh, so.
Well, you're known as Run.
Just Run.
You're Run.
You got Cannonball Pharaoh, and I got Run.
I like Run better.
Here comes Run.
I liked Run from Run DMC.
Like repeat. Don't you have a friend named Repeat?
Rerun.
You can call me Repeat then. So, how about all those cheers for Kyle Busch at the end of the race, man?
I think back to the conspiracy with Joe Gibbs. I think all of us NASCAR fans saw that he was getting shafted last year.
I do too. And I think even the Kyle Busch haters almost felt bad for him last year.
I think people that like or love Joe Gibbs no longer love him.
Oh man, Joe Gibbs is being raked under the bus today on Twitter. Well, how you feel now, Joe? What do you think now, Joe? Or the Dave dude from Toyota who's like, we'll do everything we can to keep Kyle Busch. Except keep him.
He let Logano go because he didn't win enough. He's got 2 championships now with Ford.
Well, I mean, he let Soras go too, and look, he goes and wins.
He won a race.
I think he won 2.
Did he win 2?
Well, at least 1.
1.5.
1.25. You think if we went to Mexico and raced, Soras would win?
If with the same drivers or a different league?
Same drivers.
No, I don't think so.
They want to do that. They're talking about doing it. Running like a street course race. And, they're already talking about running street course races in other states and countries, and we haven't even successfully run one. I don't think these cars are going to do good on a street course. I don't think they have the turning ability. Out
of countries that I've visited, my favorite are Mexico and Canada.
Yeah, but the cartel runs
Or is
Mexico
it Canada?
Canada. At least they're not run by the Canada cartel.
They're run by communists and socialists. So.
And Mounties.
If you think about it, isn't the cartel kind of democratic?
I don't think they vote.
Yeah, you vote with the most bullets and the faster fully automatic machine gun.
Yeah, but it
stifles regular people's votes.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to vote. You'd have to join to vote, right?
Well, I have a lot of guns.
In the cartel? You know what I'm saying?
You have to join the cartel.
What I'm saying.
Oh, what if we started our own cartel?
Why couldn't we? We've started our own mafia, the race car backwards mafia.
Yeah, we got our own mafia. We just need a cartel now. Isn't that kind of the same thing?
The juice bar cartel.
What can we bring in from Mexico that's not already being brought in? How about mezcal? You got tequila.
Mezcal.
Mezcal.
That's already brought in, though. You can buy that in America.
Well,
You ever drink it?
can you get juice bar mezcal?
Maybe not.
I don't think so, because that's our brand.
So we're going to start our own brand of mezcal.
Oh,
That's with the worm
all
in
we're
it.
going to do is go to Vistaprint and buy labels and slap it on a bottle that we brought over
With water.
with our own immigrants.
You know what I think we should sell? Mexican water. For when
There's Topo Chico,
when you're stopped up, try our Mexican water. It'll clean you right out.
so you don't have to go to the proctologist.
That's right. No proctology visit. You just
You
drink.
don't even have to carbonate it.
You don't
straight
even
from the
drink.
tap.
You don't even drink coffee. You get a tap bottle of Mexican water.
Do you think that's still true in Mexico? Don't drink the water?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've been there many times and never drank the water.
They still issue warnings to this day. It's because of the parasites and stuff in the water in Mexico. They're used to it. It doesn't bother their gut. But when an American goes down there, we're used to the fluorinated.
Do you think they get the fits here in America when they try our fluorinated water?
No, it just kills them.
Is that why they go back home?
Fluorinated, chlorinated water just kills them off right
I
off.
worked with a guy. He would come here and then he would make enough money. He would go back home for a little bit. Then he'd come back and work.
Oh, I have plenty of people I've met. Like there was a guy in the Caribbean. He was a customer of mine like 10, 15 years ago. He would work like May, June, July, August, September, the hot months in Georgia. He would work doing heating and air. And then he'd spend 4 months in the Caribbean.
Well, we had a former coworker at our former employer
It's like a
who
twister.
quit. Well, he didn't quit. He didn't tell him he quit. Went down and ran a bar during COVID in the Bahamas.
Really?
Yeah, you know him.
I
You know him.
don't think
Lived
so.
on a boat, and then they told me he had to start seeing customers again in Toronto. And he said, "Oh, guys, I've been down in the Bahamas for 3 years. I
Well,
ain't
he
going to
also
see no
he also
customers."
had to leave leave Canada because they were going to seize his money because he
because he
wouldn't
didn't get it.
Yeah, he wouldn't get the shot, so they were going to seize his money. So he sold everything, and I think he lives in the Caribbean now, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the problem with living in a communist country.
In Canada,
Yeah, in Canada, which rhymes with communist, doesn't it?
Canadian mist.
Canadian mist.
Now we know
It's a
communist
whiskey.
Canadian mist.
Yeah, the whiskey causes the communism.
It's a conspiracy. The communist country of Canada.
Canadian mist.
Canadian light.
You know what? I haven't had a good Canadian whiskey in a while. That might be my Friday night whiskey. I'm gonna because I
Canadian.
ran out of my Irish whiskey last Friday night.
So you're going to drink a communist whiskey instead?
I don't think that whiskey. I mean, people drink vodka like crazy. Isn't that like the head sponsored from Bhutan?
Well, yeah, but
Bhutan vodka.
they make that gluten-free vodka in Tennessee. Not in you mean you can get the Russian vodka, but you're talking about you
Didn't
said,
they invent it though?
but it doesn't matter.
What liquor did we invent in America?
Moonshine.
But that's just whiskey from our Scottish and Irish
We ain't invented
and
it.
English.
This is America. We steal everybody's ideas. We don't make up our own.
Well, that's the problem with China. They're stealing our ideas that we stole.
Yeah, they're getting them back.
Yeah, they're really corrupting everything.
Did we steal anything from China?
Balloons. White balloons.
Tried to get the wall from them, but they shut Trump down. All right. Auto Club Speedway sold out this weekend.
So why wouldn't you go back?
That's a
I
wrap.
enjoyed the race
That's a wrap. That's it.
because they sold the land.
That's
It's
why.
done. It's over.
So apparently they sold everything except 89 acres. They plan to lease 98 acres for the parking lot because they have 90 acres roughly to build a racetrack on in stands. Martinsville sits on 300 plus acres. Bristol's on 650 acres. All they kept was 90.
There's no room.
And they're going to lease parking from the people they sold the track to. So you're going to.
But what if they decide to break the lease and build warehouses for Amazon?
Then it's typical California with no parking. Why would that surprise you? 30,000 people show up
You can't
once a year.
You can't plant shrubs and trees or homeless will move in.
So there's a 700-page document that's been released. It's an environmental document that shows the environmental impacts of building a new track in California, meaning California is going to use their everything causes cancer in California argument to make it really hard to build the track.
I know what they're going to do. They're going to protect the bed bugs in the crappy hotels.
They're protecting the homeless and the bed bugs is all they're protecting.
I've seen the homeless there just 3 weeks ago. They ain't protecting them.
They cause cancer.
I got cancer in my eyeball from watching what I watched.
Oh, watching the whole Pringles can thing?
Oh, yeah.
Look, they sold that track for $500 million. It cost them roughly $3 to $5 million to do the Clash at the Coliseum. You know how many tracks they could build before they ever hit that $500 million mark?
But I think they ought to keep it a non-points race.
I agree. I'd say we have a points race in California. It's on Northern California in Sonoma. Then we have a non-points paying race at the. I'm okay with the Clash not moving. Keep the Clash at the Coliseum every single year.
Well, there's
Give us a
race.
Exactly. Like we just sold out this weekend at Fontana, which is a great track. But now, if they truly build a half-mile, high-banked Martinsville, that would be cool. That would be really cool, actually.
Be awesome.
But I don't think they will.
I think they're going to find an excuse to leave.
Yeah, they're going to find an excuse to sell that other 98 acres or 90 acre.
We decided that it doesn't logistically make sense to us.
Well, they're going to decide that because of nuisance laws out there that won't let you build anything that might have a cow fart associated with it. They can't do it. It's bad for the environment to build a racetrack. What's the GWP? Global warming potential of building this racetrack.
I thought that was gross weight.
We just learned last week at the class we went to about GWP.
We did with that dude from a competitor.
That means global warming potential.
Did you believe him?
No, I don't believe any of the government stuff they keep spouting out.
And that guy was with
You're just rattling off. You're just rattling off government stat. It's global warming potential. What's the potential?
And he was.
It's not even real. It's like theory class.
Who owns the company they work for? Is it Ford? It looks like a blue oval.
Yeah, it's probably Ford.
That's what I'm thinking.
Mustang.
Yeah, they charge a lot and it breaks real soon.
Communists.
Uh-huh.
Probably. That's what I'm thinking. It's got to be.
And our blue is petty blue for our company, which signifies winning.
So, the big question, do you think we go back to Fontana?
Nope.
Ever?
Nope.
I don't either. Amazon, I don't know who bought it.
We go for a Clash. That's it.
That's the only time we go to Southern California. And I'm good with that. I think that's okay.
So why don't we go down to San Diego, go into Tijuana, buy some desert land, and build a badass Bristol?
Why don't we build
where there is no EPA?
Then we do what we want.
Get the cartel on our side.
We don't even need mufflers if we do that.
No.
You don't even need exhaust pipes.
We'll let them put the cocaine in the car haulers when we go back to America.
No, we ain't got to do that.
No cocaine?
We don't even go to Mexico. We go to the New Mexico, the better one, the one that we built. We build a half-mile, high-banked, two-come-carry.
Heck yeah.
Two-come-carry speedway.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I love it.
Yep.
I would go. I would go to the grand opening first historical race.
Drive.
I would gladly drive.
In the Prius.
Even if you don't have the Prius, we'll rent a Prius.
I'll pull the hitch off for that one.
We'll get a dumper bumper.
A dumper bumper.
No, I'm serious. We drove. All you gotta do is you move a few reservations around.
I know. You don't worry about going between the reservations. Move those RV campers.
Get rid of the meth shacks.
Yeah.
You don't have to get rid of the meth shacks. We turn them into hot dog stands.
Well, it's legal in New Mexico anyway.
Not the meth. It's the weeds legal.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
I thought everything was legal in New Mexico now.
Maybe, but I don't think meth is legal anywhere.
I got a question for you.
What you got? I probably don't have an answer.
So, What came first, illegal alien immigrants or aliens?
Huh.
How did we attach alien to an immigrant?
How did we do
They
that?
don't come over in UFOs. They swim across the river.
Because they're unidentified people until we identify them.
So that makes them
Aliens? What? So what did... I think space aliens came first.
Well, wasn't it? I'm thinking here. I'm going way back into my history files in my head.
It's because you're a historian.
No, I only have a bachelor's degree in it.
Does that not make you official?
No, it makes me like half-ass stupid.
Is you broke?
Yeah, basically. So the second
It makes you a salesman is what it makes you.
the second president of the United States,
Okay. Who was
John Adams.
that? Okay. Not Samuel?
That was his partying brother that made beer.
That's
So you can tell that because we have Sam Adams beer.
the drunk brother.
Yeah, cousin. It was a drunk cousin.
Think they were
He
kissing
came
cousins?
up with the Alien and Sedition Act. Was he talking about UFOs or people from a different country?
Alien and so what?
Sedition.
Is that like a satanic?
Well, they're trying to charge those January 6 people with sedition.
That would suck because I don't even know if I could pronounce sedition. Sedition.
Well, that's why I stick.
Sounds like a type of
That's
math
why I
or a
stick.
satanic worship.
That's why I stick with the alien part. But you know what he really used it for? To control the press and not the UFOs or the illegal aliens from another country.
I think it was probably, when he came up with it, it was probably for the UFOs.
That's what I'm thinking. Because there was no electricity.
Yeah, we didn't have...
So there's no clutter lights blocking you. Everyone saw UFOs back then. They're like,
But did we even own Texas at that point?
no.
So it wouldn't have mattered. We wouldn't be worried about Mexico running over. We'd be worried about Texaco, like them Texicans.
We hadn't even bought the Louisiana Purchase yet. We were stuck on this side of the Mississippi, which, as we know,
Sucks.
pretty much the better. We're better.
You think?
Well,
We got better roads.
immediately you're like in Arkansas and you're like, oh my God, what the
Well, that's the septic tank of the South.
wow. Did I just see that guy poop off the ceiling of a single wide with a hole in it?
Yeah, you did.
Uh-huh.
As he's pulling it down the street.
You did in Arkansas.
Yes.
You saw it.
Well, Louisiana, probably... I've never been to Louisiana. I was trying to think.
Well,
Have you ever been to Louisiana?
I've been to Louisiana, but Arkansas was the first state we went to where I thought I was attractive as a man.
It didn't help. I'm just going to throw it out there. It didn't really. It was you thought that. I didn't think that.
Unfortunately, the women that were hitting on me at the gas station,
Well, I looked at that one woman and I said, come on, Jamie. And I was like, oh, no, I'm sorry, ma'am.
I wasn't sure what it was.
And you're like, I'm over here, Brad. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
And then I started thinking, you
Well,
know,
she had a better beard than you.
when you're swimming in the gene pool and they all think you're hot, you got a problem. You need to go to a different swimming pool.
I don't think any of
You need a life jacket.
their family trees definitely didn't fork.
Ooh, can you imagine if they did 23andMe and come back with just everyone they already knew? Oh, yeah.
I already knew that he was my cousin.
Dang.
I knew my daddy was my mama.
I mean, that one lady you were talking to at the Love's gas station, she said, I can't see you very good. And I thought she was going to put on glasses, but she unbuttoned that button down her shirt and opened up, and I thought she was exposing a belly button, but that was her third eye.
Maybe.
That's from that.
Look, we was at this podunk hole in the wall. The only nasty love station we went to on the whole Cannonball Run was in Arkansas. It was basically a converted shell station that had been converted into a 66
It was
station.
condemned, and then it was.
Then they closed it and turned it into a meth shack. Then they reopened it as a Crystals, closed it again. Dollar General was going to buy it, but Love's beat them out and got it for $33. Opened up a Love's.
But they hired local management team. That's the problem.
Well, they didn't even upgrade it.
No.
That's the place that only sold 2 liters of Coke or Dr. Pepper and larger than life-size Snicker bars.
Or was that supply and demand? They can't sell regular size?
Well, that's what the people want there is non-regular size. They want the big ones.
I mean, really, I want the little 7-ounce cans. I'd pay you $1 for them, but they don't sell them. I was looking for a 12, but what did I get? A 24-ounce. That was the smallest bottle of Coca-Cola.
That was ridiculous.
That's why they got diabetes over there.
Got the diabetes.
They got all kinds of diabetes.
They got diabetes.
Uh-huh.
Hey, they should be eating more of them quesadillas, man. That'd fix it. All right, Hendrick Motorsports. Let's rank these teams after Fontana. Give them a letter grade. A, B, C, D, C+, A-. It don't matter. Hendrick Motorsports. What do you give them?
Didn't I have some picks for them last week?
You got screwed up. Your picks sucked last week.
Blaney, Larson, and Biden. These guys all led, though.
Yeah, but they led you to a losing pick.
Because they ended up sucking.
So, Hendricks, what do you give them? I give Hendricks a B.
I give him a C.
C? All right, Gibbs, I give a C+.
C.
Stuart Haas Racing, you had Kevin Harvick was their only driver that finished 20th or better.
C-.
I gave him a C- as well. RFK, I gave a B+.
I give him a B, solid B.
Yeah, solid. I mean, you had Brad finished in 7th and Buscher finished in 13th. That's pretty dang good. Penske, I give him a C+.
Solid C here.
My thing with Penske is you got Joey's gonna show up and run good pretty much consistently. Blaney, if he farts wrong or gets to scratching his leg, let one little thing go wrong for Blaney.
He leads every stinking race, and then something happens
and he can't recover. Like a pit road.
Do you think it's
Kyle Busch had a pit road penalty yesterday and won? You give Blaney a pit road penalty, next thing you know, he's 37 laps down, and you don't know how.
He's OCD, sitting there taking a corner, doing 180 miles an hour. Do. Oh, my shoe's untied.
Blaney's got as far. He has made it as far as he can make it on his looks, in my opinion. Blaney came in as
he's the only guy I like this Fox profile, his cartoon profile. He's all like
Mr. GQ. I like Blaney. I can't talk bad about Blaney. I mean, I gave him crap a few weeks ago because he didn't know the rules of the sport, which is still a problem for me.
This year pans out the way last year does, he's at the peak of his ability.
Exactly. So I gave Penske a C+. What'd you give him?
C.
All right. The only A on my list goes to Trackhouse.
Yes.
And I hate
Agreed.
that. I hate saying that because I know you like sore ass. I don't like sore ass. I like Crash Stain.
I like Crash Stain, and I like Schwarash.
I don't like sore ass.
I'm going to have a quesadilla in his honor tonight.
I might have a quesadilla too, but it won't be in his honor just because I want a quesadilla.
I might even put onions on there.
Actually, I think my wife's cooking dinner tonight, so it won't be a quesadilla type of night for me.
Okay.
All right, Jamie. If we were going to Vegas, where would we not want to stay? I always love Vegas, too, because Vegas has the worst hotels.
Well, this one is titled, this was in TripAdvisor.
I love the title. This is a T-shirt if I've ever seen one.
Prostitutes Galore. Labor Day weekend.
Just on Labor Day? Or you think they have them year-round?
Well, I've been there not on Labor Day, and they're all over the place.
I've only been to Vegas once.
Well, I Googled this to check to verify the story. I thought prostitution was legal throughout the entire state of Nevada. Guess what?
It's not.
In Las Vegas, it is not. The rest of the state is completely legal, but that county is illegal.
They had to make it illegal in Las Vegas because it was getting out of hand.
It's still out of hand. We've been there.
But it's still illegal.
So why don't they make it legal and do weekly inspections of the prostitutes?
Who? I would not want to be that gynecologist.
But that's where Europe decided to go, and people don't talk about the sex trade in Europe like we do here.
Talking about like the red light district?
Yeah.
That's in
it's so forbidden here. That's all. It's
our buddy we were talking about earlier grew up in Holland. So he can remember being a kid. They would like sneak over to the red light district and get chased out by the madams because they were peeking in the windows.
Well, what happened when I was a kid, there would be a porn library in the woods. I think older kids would leave.
What?
They'd leave like a hustler in the woods so that 8 and 9-year-olds could find it.
In the woods?
Yeah, so you'd look at
What
it.
state is this?
It was in D.C. So you'd leave it in the woods for someone else to find.
That's like that need a book, take a book box.
Pretty much. It's called
the mailbox library.
It's called woods porn. It's quite a thing up there.
It's called the woods porn library.
I was talking to a different friend that grew up in New York, and he's
the
like,
porn hub of the woods.
He's like, yeah, that was a thing when I was a kid too. So the porn woods.
I've never heard of that.
Maybe we should cover that in our new conspiracy paranormal activity, because who puts the porn in the woods? Is it gone now, or does someone put an iPad in the woods?
I think it's
with a data card.
Probably too accessible now.
That's true.
With no reason to make a trek out into the woods.
I was Googling something the other day. I misspelled Google. Not paying attention. It was goo.gle something dot.
Ooh.
And it ended up on some weird porn site. I was with my wife, and she's like, what are you looking at? And I said, I don't know.
Stop looking at that stuff, Jamie. Again. All right, let's go. Where are we going?
All right. Well, anyway.
The Vietnamese resort.
Venetian.
No, Venetian.
That's what you call people from Vietnam.
From people from Vietnam or Venetian?
Yes.
Okay. I thought it said Vietnam resort.
And this was anonymous.
Ooh, anonymous.
And when I read it, you'll see why.
I am anonymous.
Call me Dick Trickle.
Racing makes my dick trickle. My father-in-law had a sticker on the back of his window that said, racing makes my dick trickle.
That's awesome.
I thought it was great.
It's the guy's name.
Dick Trickle.
Yeah.
He used to smoke while driving.
Smoke what?
Cigarettes.
Oh, okay. Oh, you mean Dick Trickle?
Yes.
Not your grandfather.
No, Dick Trickle would smoke a cigarette while driving.
I gotcha. All right. Well, anyway, they gave it a 1 out of 5. They say, my wife and I were meeting our daughter and her boyfriend at the hotel. While I was walking through the hotel, both myself and with my wife holding my hand. What does that mean?
He was holding his hand and his wife's.
So is that kind of like...
He had his hands cupped together and his wife's in the middle.
Or did she just grab his elbow and he's like pretzelating with his hands up here?
He didn't want to hold hands.
It's kind of
like rocking a baby.
It's what I imagine, like this 1840s farmers in the prairies just
standing there rocking back and forth.
Yep.
That's probably what he was doing.
You know, the high grass fields and the prairies there in Oklahoma and Texas. But anyway, he can tell you that I received. He says I can tell you, but he can tell you. I can tell you that I received as many as 5 to 7 prostitutes hitting on me. Okay, well, here's my first problem. This is a business transaction.
Mm-hmm.
They're not hitting on him. They're marketing.
They're soliciting.
They're marketing.
Yeah.
Let's not go soliciting. That has such negative connotations.
Does it?
Yeah, I don't want to cancel prostitutes. They need to be embraced naked.
So she was soliciting.
Or marketing. Let's go with marketing.
I think they should make them stand there naked, though, because nowadays...
So you see what you're paying for?
Yeah, you know what you're getting. Like, because you don't want to get...
What do they call that Victorian thing with the strings? A bodice? What if you get up there and she pops a shoestring?
What if...
And she's triple size.
My problem, what if she's got a dangler?
Well, maybe there should be a window in your pants.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know what you're buying then.
But what if they tuck it between their legs?
Well, maybe they make them do jumping jacks.
Is the window on both sides?
Well, maybe you make them do jumping jacks. I mean, you can't tuck in a jumping jack.
Well,
You've done a jumping jack, right? You know what a jumping jack is.
I don't use prostitutes.
Well, I don't either. I'm just saying.
But I don't want to get some Chick-fil-A nuggets with my naked dance.
Have you ever seen that meme? It's got the woman, she goes, but honey, it's okay to have a little penis. And he goes, I would prefer you didn't have one at all.
Oh, jeez.
All right, back to your prostitute story.
Well, they were kind of funny about it. They said, so as a joke, when we went up to the room, we called the front desk and asked if they could send up some hookers. They were happy to help us. That's because you're in Vegas, dude.
Yeah, you just called the concierge.
It's just the law saying that it's illegal. It's not really illegal. They're everywhere. There's people shooting baseball cards of naked ladies at you on the sidewalk.
Hey, we had some coworkers one time. One of them got a prostitute, and the prostitute came into his room, drugged him and his roommate.
Yep.
And robbed them blind.
That was the last year we had roommates on our business trip.
That was awesome.
My roommate got arrested because weed was not legal yet in Nevada at our last convention there.
Yeah.
He was in California and decided he could bring it in.
So how did he get arrested though?
They caught him at the airport.
Oh, he flew with it.
Yeah.
This was back when it was harder to fly with it.
Yeah. He got nailed into Las Vegas. Or not Las Vegas, Los Angeles. So I was waiting for my roommate. They never showed.
That happened to me my first year on a trip with that company too. My roommate didn't show, but he said he saw me and I made him nervous, so he wouldn't come to the room.
Well, they said, remember that super cop head of security?
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of
That was supposed to be my roommate my first year.
the head of security?
No, that guy. The one who was a ass to everybody.
Oh.
Yeah. And he said he saw me and it made him nervous because he had chewed me out at training like 3 months prior because I had sunglasses on.
Did he think you were going to kill him?
I don't know. He's like, I saw it was you as my roommate and I didn't want to come to my room because it made me nervous because I had gotten on to you 3 months earlier about your sunglasses being on.
Well, we have a mutual friend that got super wasted in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. That's bad.
And so Super Cop was looking for him. Since I didn't have a roommate, we hauled his butt up to my room because Super Cop was he was at the other wing of Caesar's Palace.
I wasn't on that trip.
Oh, no, you didn't go. Your mom was in the hospital or something. So we brought him up to my room. Then I went back out with the sober buddies. And Super Cop saw us in the casino. And he's like, hey, have you seen OKK? And I said, no, not in a while. Saw him get on the elevators.
Right after training today, he went to bed.
He's like, which bank of elevators was that? And I said, well, right there. And he goes, oh, that's the wrong wing. He's not in that wing.
And they were really on him, huh?
Well, it's like, working for those guys was like working for Kim Jong-un.
Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. Well, anyway, they were more than happy to help him with the prostitutes galore.
The hookers.
Yeah. Hoes. Harlots.
Women of the night.
I was with a friend that in Vegas.
We're never going to finish this review.
They call them sluts, and I said they're not sluts. Sluts give it away.
Remember on Beavis and Butthead Do America, that old lady's like, we're going to play the sluts. He's like, Beavis, she said sluts. This is one of the greatest movies of all time.
They went and saw their daughter with a son, but they're acting like little kids. We said no thank you, and we hung up laughing. Kind of childish, isn't it? We have no issue with hookers.
Well, that's good.
Well, okay.
They don't.
Neither do I.
Well, you just say
it's just a job.
Yeah. Not that you use hookers.
I've played a hooker on TV, but no one watched. I got canceled.
Day one.
Yeah. They're like, ugh. Except for the girl in Arkansas. Maybe that's where she noticed me from.
Probably.
Were you on that show, Male Hookers?
Yeah.
You're the guy they were.
Magic Todd.
But they go on to say, we do expect a certain amount of class from a hotel such as the Venetian. The hookers were really ridiculous in their approach. Management needs to get some control of this. The majority of guests or visitors at the hotel do not enjoy seeing them or being harassed by them. I don't care if it's Vegas. It's classless. We felt like we were on a street corner. Well, here's the thing.
He called.
You're in Vegas. You said earlier you have no problems with hookers.
Exactly. And you even called the front desk joking around. Of course, that guy got your number, your message. He probably texted a few of them right away. Like, got one.
I got a solution for this guy.
Don't go to Vegas.
No, you know when you go out the front door,
Don't stay at the Vietnamese
they got
resort.
the cab line and the Uber and Lyft lines, right? Where they just wave the next guy in line because they're going to get fares. Why not have a hooker line too?
Like an RV?
No, they always have some convention hall they're not using, right?
I'm sure. Well, I don't know. Vegas is probably pretty busy.
And it's the luck of the draw.
Just
You
get
go
one of
in,
those ultralight, pull behind bumper poles.
you go in, and the hooker concierge.
Remember,
You get the next one in line, regardless of what they look like.
remember the hookers on Justified?
Yeah. The trailer park.
You got into the trailer
house or
camp,
whatever.
the RV camp with like 3 hookers in one RV. All right, where are we going next?
Next, we're going to the Shalimar Hotel
That sounds fancy.
in Vegas. 1 out of 5, and this is J Cobb 5789.
That's his last name.
Wasn't that what's the J Cobb race car chick?
That's Jacoby.
Oh, okay.
J Cobb. Joe Cobb. Jennifer Joe Cobb.
That's her.
This is okay. Yeah, this is Jennifer Joe Cobb. We'll go with that. Just go with that. This is a review from Jennifer.
Well,
Joe
let's
Cobb.
just say they
5789.
identify as
Jennifer Joe Cobb.
because that's J Cobb.
Don't even.
Maybe that's her birthday, May
Maybe.
7, 1989.
Maybe.
Could be
No, she's way
a
older.
little older
than
than that. Is she in her late 40s or early 50s?
Maybe it's May of 78 on the 9th day.
Like the way the Europeans do the
Yes.
calendars? Okay.
The 9th day of May in 78.
Well, she says about the Shalimar, don't even think about it. Not worth it, even if just passing through. We chose to stay here because we were driving home from California. The first mistake is living in California. Got tired on the drive. We didn't need anything too extravagant. That's all. That's always how the bad reviews start.
Always.
All we wanted was a shower. That's how ours was.
We didn't want anything clean.
We were only going to spend the evening there and then wake up early and get back on the road.
Wouldn't that be the night?
Yeah, that sounds like every. Actually, we had good
The
experiences.
evening would
with
be
that.
like 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Yeah.
So, no, you wanted to spend the night.
The lobby was nice and the price was right. Now we're going into television game shows, aren't we?
I thought it said the priest, so.
What do they say? This hooker here, how much does she cost a night? And you got 5 guys saying $100. No, Bob, 101 is my bid. And Bob says, George, what is your next bid on The Price is Right? Oh, she looks better than I think they believe. 501. And then Bob says, we're talking for the whole night. All you guys underbid. But anyway,
I never watched that show, by the way.
I only saw it when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I think 2 or 3 other people have hosted it.
I saw Bob Barker get beat up on Happy Gilmore, though.
Yeah.
Price is wrong, Bob.
But we were quickly disappointed. We were put on the 3rd floor, and it took forever to go through all these hallways that were 95 degrees. Our room, when we arrived, was so unbearably hot, we had to stand on our balcony. We could not get the air to turn on, so we had to call maintenance to get it running. And it took at least an hour for the room to get remotely comfortable. We turned down the bed, and there were long hairs in the sheets. Like they were not changed from the last visitors. Well, they weren't.
Obviously.
There was no clock anywhere in the room. The TV speakers were blown, and the corners of the rooms were filled with dirt. The worst of the night was that the people next to us were so bad, so loud, and going in and out of the hallway, slamming their door so loud, time after time. This went on through the night, and then at 4 a.m., they were screaming so loudly at each other that we can hear word for word what they were fighting about. The police came and handled the situation, but
What were they
overall,
fighting about?
I don't see.
Why wouldn't
This
you
is
put
a
that?
bad review.
I would have put that in the review, like because now I want to know. So now I gotta reach out to Jennifer Joe and ask her what they were fighting about.
Well, I'm thinking some of these things. I mean, we have a lot of reviews where they call the police. Maybe we should subscribe with our $1 an episode to the mugshot
I just check it out.
website. Yeah, check out the people who got arrested. Overall, the location seemed a little dangerous, and as a woman, I was not comfortable to even leave the room. As a male, I wasn't comfortable leaving the room at Caesar's Palace. Just leaving the room. I don't know why this seemed funnier when I put it on here.
I just want to know what they're fighting about. Like, at this point, you're going to bring that into... I mean, you could say the people next door was loud, but for you to say we can hear word for word what they are fighting about, why wouldn't you put that in the review? Because now I want to know what they were fighting about. Because then the police came. So it could have been a really good fight.
Well, we got hookers galore.
So maybe...
Were they loud having sex beforehand?
Well, maybe... So maybe the door slamming was the wife coming back into their room, and Todd was in there with one of these hooker galores, and that's what the scream... And so Jennifer Joe didn't want to put that in the review. Like, because you see... The worst of the night was that the people next to us were so loud, going at it, going in and out, slamming doors. So that's the wife coming home. Barbara comes back, finds Todd in there with the hooker galore, and that's the word for word fight that Jennifer Joe hears. So Jennifer Joe didn't want to put that in here. She was trying to help Todd out.
Oh, that makes sense.
Something has to.
Next, we go to Patty Patty at the Desert Hills Motel. She gave it a 1 out of 5.
Patty Patty.
She says immediately, with an exclamation point, "What a shithole."
Mm-hmm.
I have never stayed in a more disgusting room in my life. The barracks and military housing were like a Taj Mahal by comparison. So I'm making an assumption, but Patty Patty was in the military. Huh. The bed was like plywood.
I've never been to the Taj Mahal, so it's kind of hard to compare the two, but...
I've been to the Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City.
Okay.
It looked nice.
Was the bed like plywood?
It was actually nice. That was back before Trump went orange, full on orange.
So it was still white sheets?
Yeah, and red hair. Now, have you noticed he's kind of gone a little loopy the oranger his hair gets?
I think it's the gray and the color.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Well, the room smelled musty. The floor had a hump in it that I tripped over. The door had a space under it that a rat could fit through. The microwave had rust in it. The pool had big dumpsters next to it that were overflowing with trash, which would really skeeze me out.
Oh, yeah.
There was a van sitting on the property that clearly had not moved in many years. Well, maybe this guy commutes to and from Los Angeles, and he's got another broken down van in L.A.
Probably. That's where he stays at.
And he drives his Prius.
So you're saying management. That's probably management housing.
Yeah. He drives his Prius between the two because he wants to save the environment. It's probably a Tesla. Full-blown electric.
Probably. It's probably like that.
I think you could do it on one charge in a Tesla.
Probably that Volt.
That sounds better.
It's a knockoff.
Yeah. That he had an alien bring in.
Probably.
Onto their back.
Oh, definitely.
On a UFO. The
undocumented spaceman.
Spaceman. There, we already got. The neighborhood looked like the kind of place you would be lucky to get out of alive. There were scumbags everywhere you looked. So this lady's now gone from just military to military police. Isn't scumbag what? It's only a policeman that uses scumbags. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever used that word in daily talk.
The office lady seemed like she was high on meth.
So that means he's done meth. Patty's done meth to know if you're high on meth.
Do you think it's a male Patty or a female Patty?
It's a Krabby Patty.
Krabby Patty? I like Krabby Patties. So she's high on meth, but she was also a tenacious liar.
Tenacious? That's a
Tenacious D. That's the first time we've had tenacious in a review.
Tenacious.
She said that we had to leave $100 deposit, cash or credit card. We elected to leave cash. That was a big mistake.
Dumb.
That's stupid. Then she said she needed the credit card info as well.
Mm-hmm. That's how they get you.
Makes sense.
$200.
It was clear that she wanted the credit info. This was further validated by the reviews we found on Yelp and other places. One after another claimed credit card fraud after they left. What was worse is that she told us we would not be able to get our cash deposit back until between 3 and 5 the next day. In other words, the day would be shot waiting for her to come out of her drug-induced stupor. She even had the nerve to say that she would leave our home address. We could leave our home address and she would mail it to us. Whatever you do, don't pay attention to the hotel reviews on their website. They are all bogus. Actually, there were a lot of 1 out of 5s. You think that was bogus?
Maybe it's talking about this, like the Desert Hills Motel website.
I think they own the Beach Haven Inn in Daytona.
The Beach House Inn?
Yeah.
The Crack Shack Inn?
The pictures look to be from a nicer location.
They probably use a stock photo at all their hotels.
Yeah. I mean, they had the beach sand. They CGI'd an ocean. I felt so slimy and disgusting after one night in there that I wanted to blowtorch my whole body so I could feel clean again.
Yeah.
I've never felt that way, that I need to blowtorch my whole body.
No. We left the hotel that would make you feel that way.
I don't have the option to leave less than 1 star hour. Oh, jeez, really?
Idiot.
Patty. You had our respect.
That's a crap patty.
Uh-huh. Not even a Krabby Patty.
Crappy.
Pure on crap patty.
Idiot.
This place should be put on a Las Vegas tour of the top 10 dung heaps to stay in.
Well, I mean, I'm okay with that. Maybe it should.
It was pretty sketch. I looked at pictures. Oasis at Gold Spike.
That sounds promising.
1 out of 5 by Casso 100.
Casio.
Or is that 0100?
Or maybe it's...
Is that a license to kill? 10? He's like way off 007?
His name's probably Chris.
Asshole?
Yeah.
Asso. Asso.
Well, like Seabell?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Asso. Chris Asso.
Yeah.
He's got problems. So, 1 out of 5 on Google. This place is terrible. The room, staff, attitude, and appearance. Cleanliness, and most of all, the management. The overweight sumo wrestler at the front desk.
Deborah was here.
She smelled. Her
I don't know if
hygiene
she
was
smelled.
terrible. She was clearly frustrated with herself as she became irate when I asked for someone else. She got up and went to screaming and yelling about how I got her effed up. And she is from a gang on the east side, and she can call her baby daddy up there to handle me and all that. LOL.
You think she said LOL?
No, I think she's interjecting LOL.
Oh, Casio?
Is there an east side gang in Vegas?
Is there a west side gang in Vegas? Is there an east and west Vegas? Like, is that...
Do they rap and shoot at each other?
Maybe. I mean, I'm not part of the gang scene, obviously, but...
Is there a Small Biggie there? Well, she's Small Biggie. The manager.
I think One Pac is there.
Yeah, well, she sounds like she's Tin Pac.
Sounds like she's on crack. It sounds like Bertha from Vegas getting all mad at us.
She says, first
not
off,
Vegas.
I am a customer, and I was only staying here to do artwork on the building across the street. And
She's a graffiti artist.
It was close. I wouldn't recommend a homeless person to stay here. Worst experience I've had at a hotel in M. That's how she ended it. Just in M.
Maybe she died right there.
You think the drug, gangster came and shot her?
I do. I think. Whatever.
What color bandana was she wearing is my...
The bad hygiene stinky lady sent her bad hygiene stinky gang buddy over, and they killed Casio. While she was writing this review, they killed her and hit her and walked out.
So I got a question because of her gang activity here. When we were in LA, I saw flat out, there's no question, they were Crip Blue.
Oh, yeah.
Then I saw Blood Red.
Yeah.
Then I saw people all yellowed out. What gang is yellow?
No clue.
I know we have a no Google rule, but
Maybe
can I Google?
M16 or whatever.
MC17?
Or MXPX. One of those.
Let's do yellow bandana gang.
What do you come up with? Sesame Street? It's got to be a Spanish thing, right?
Does yellow mean it?
I mean, that's Bloods, Crips, and I would think that...
Quora has what gang wears yellow?
I think it would be that MXPX band or M13, MX11. I'm just making things up.
Maybe they're the bananas.
All right. Well,
It's the Latin Kings.
I told you. God. See, I was right and you were not even guessing. You called on the bananas. Now you've called the Latin Kings the bananas on our podcast. Way to go.
Wow, here's a whole thing here. The Grape Street Watt Crips in Las Vegas, they do green. I didn't see any greeners.
No, I didn't see green either.
Huh.
Wasn't looking for it. All right, next race we got is at Las Vegas. It's going to be at 3:30 p.m. It's going to be on the big channel of Fox with Drunk Clint and Grandpa Mike. PRN is going to be doing it on the radio.
Who's the third person? Is it Tony again? Or did he just do two?
Danica's coming, but I don't know when she starts.
Oh, jeez.
It's a 1.5 mile oval track. Last year's winner was Alex Bowman. Out of the last 6 races, Kyle Busch has an average finish of 5.7. Martin Truex Jr. has an average finish of 8.2. Joey Logano, average finish 8.3, and Joey's got 2 wins. Denny Hamlin has an average finish of 10.3 and 1 win. Kyle Larson, 11.4 average finish and 1 win. Kevin Harvick, average finish 11.8. Alex Bowman, 13.6. Austin Dillon's average finish is 13.7, and William Byron's average finish is 15.2. Now, this is out of the last 6 races.
Wow, after last week, I went from a 12-point lead to a 36-point deficit.
So, for our fantasy picks, last week I had Logano, who finished 10th, Busch finished 1st, and Eric Jones finished 19th for a total of 30 points. Jamie had Blaney at 26, Larson at 29th, and Byron at 25th for a total of 80 points. Remember, the smaller number is the winner. So first place is 1 point, and so on. So I won last week, which means, Jamie, you get to pick this week. So the way it works, guys, we pick 3 drivers. You pick one from the last week's top 1 through 10. Pick one driver, 11 through 20, and then 21st to whatever, 36 or 38, whatever it is. We pick one driver out of there. So, Jamie, you go first, my friend.
Going Kyle Busch to repeat.
All right.
Then I'm going Martin Truex. He won the Clash. He's pretty good at 1.5 miles.
All right.
Then I'm going Kyle Larson, my only Chevy this week, because Chevy really put a pounding to me last week, with the exception of Busch.
You got Kyle Busch.
I got the wrong Chevys. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, so you got 2 Chevys and a Toyota. All right, so I knew you were going to take Kyle Busch. So I'm going to go with...
Well, it is his home track.
Chase Elliott.
A good pick.
Then I'm going to go with... Man, this was a hard one. 11th through 20th is really hard this week. I'll go back with Eric Jones again.
Good pick. I like Eric.
And then you got Larson out of that group. Oh man, that's another good one. I will go with Tyler Reddick.
It's a good pick. What, you had William Byron available?
Yeah, I know, but I think it's going to be a Toyota weekend. I think. But there was I could not bring myself to pick Ty Gibbs. I just hadn't. That'll be a second half of the season guy for me.
Do you think that Allmendinger is going to improve when he gets to road courses?
We'll see. We'll see. That's going to be the question. So, I don't know.
I see a demotion in his future.
Oh, no doubt. Well, that's all I got this week. You got anything else?
No, that's it.
Make sure you check out our other show. It's going to be on YouTube. We got video, the whole works. It's called The Conspiracy Juice Bar. You're not going to want to miss it. This week we talk about Roswell, or the Roswell incident, so make sure you check that out. Other than that, thanks to everyone who listens, watches, and shares the show on social media. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We're at Car Backwards. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Check out our videos. Check us out on Spotify and rate us. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts and leave us a review, kind of like Brandon left us a review. other people should leave us a review too. Send us a DM or you can email us. We're racecarbackwardspod@gmail.com. If you got questions, we'll read them here on the show. And make sure to check out our merch store found at racecarbackwards.com or racecarbackwards.threadless.com.
Have you designed a race car backwards mafia shirt yet?
I'm working on that one, but I'm going to do the Arkansas Septic Tank of the South shirt next. So
I want to buy your dad a race car backwards mafia shirt as soon as you make it.
okay, we'll get him one.
Just send me that it's done and we'll get him one.
Done.
We need his t-shirt size.
Yeah, I got a buddy actually working on the design for that, so I didn't want that to just be mine. I put it off on a friend of mine who's an artist. We're going to see what he can come up with. Told him I want something really cool.
I watched the Mafia History Channel. I'm not even sure who it is. But there's a nice little, it's probably copyrighted. It's got a hand with blood coming out of the thumb.
Yeah.
A dagger and a rose.
That'd be cool. It sounds like a cool tattoo.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's all we got this week. Y'all have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week. Do you enjoy conspiracy theories? What about paranormal activity stories? Or how about just making fun of the government? Well, if those things fall into your wheelhouse, make sure to head over to YouTube and check out our new show, The Conspiracy Juice Bar. You just listened to a race car spelled backwards. For that, we thank you.